What's going on, everyone? It is your Timeless Weddings podcast.
I wanted to talk to you guys about Miami.
Are we going to swear on this podcast?
Well, that's the bit that went wrong.
Sam's limousine blew up on the highway. We were blocking traffic.
Sometimes there is a little bit more at stake,
Explosion's about to go off.
and it's a good thing you came on board. So there's a reason for it.
This is completely backwards. And I think I called him like a couple of seconds later. Like, what? He was not happy.
Yeah.
They took apart a whole day before the day before their wedding,
Yeah.
just to hang around with you guys.
Basically,
How lucky are they?
tag along.
Who are we,
Fair
friend?
enough. Fair enough.
Right. There's no time for any of that.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
2, 1.
What's going on, everyone? It is your Timeless Weddings podcast, episode number 1. It's obviously it's going to be interesting. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to talk the talk. We're just going to catch up, talk about the year we had last year, what's got coming up. We've had a few questions as well. So yeah,
Sam, you can tell you're really uncomfortable. Why are you talking so slowly? Hello. Stop doing your telephone voice.
Wait, are we going to do another take or is this
no, that's it. Just go.
That's
Isn't
it?
it?
We're rolling now.
Okay,
We're rolling.
Where do you want to start, Joe?
Where do I want to start?
Yeah.
So I'm new to this whole thing, aren't I? I'm new to you guys.
But he's basically
Yeah.
the boss.
But
now.
I'm kind of running the show a little bit.
Because me and Sam have no idea what we're doing.
Nah, I'm surprised we made it this far. To be honest,
Yeah, I can see why you got me on board.
we've had some big weddings, and I don't know how we did it. I mean, everyone's happy, which is important.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone loves to work, but in terms of professionalism, it's a good thing you came on board.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, thanks. Yeah, humble. Stay humble.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself, Joe.
Me?
Yep.
It's not a job interview. If you could say what are your strengths and weaknesses. Yeah, so for everyone's information, we've just spent about an hour, like our time to record this started an hour ago. And we just spent about an hour just trying to work out how to use, we know how to use cameras.
Wow.
It's just how to set everything up for the podcast. Yeah, so I'm new to all this thing, aren't I? I'm new to you guys, and I haven't done one of your big foreign ones yet.
We got a lot coming up this year.
So there's quite a lot. So I'm keen to hear what you guys... I haven't really heard about Miami or anything in detail.
Oh my God.
It was good fun. It was good fun. The thing with some of these big weddings is you just need to treat it the same as a smaller wedding, but everything is much bigger. But what I mean by that is I don't change my mindset. I don't think you do either, do you?
No, I don't. I shoot the bigger weddings exactly how I'd shoot the small ones.
Obviously the pressure's a bit different because like some of these clients are spending a lot of money, but in terms of a local one or one out in Miami, you do go in with a mindset, but yeah, sometimes there is a little bit more at stake just because there's a lot of money involved. So you want to make sure that everything's tickety-boo.
When you did your first one, like your first foreign one, did you feel like overwhelmed or anything?
Yeah, so my first foreign one was in Italy. About 2 years ago now. And it was scary. I found the biggest challenge was getting ready in terms to know what to pack. Because when you think, oh yeah, we'll just put a pelly case together and we'll go out there, I'll take a body, take a lens. And then when you actually start to think about it, you need a minimum of 2 bodies, a minimum of 3 lenses, audio, lights, stands, and then before you know it, you're like, how the hell am I going to get this all on the plane? So that, for me, was one of the biggest challenges. I got round it, YouTube, but...
Yeah, I was going to say YouTube's pretty good. I know, like, I follow the guys, what they're called, Runaway Vows.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got, like, a really good... Plug in another podcast. They've got a really good pod, but they do. They talk about they do YouTube content and about doing weddings abroad.
Yeah,
so that's probably quite a good resource. Because I'm thinking the same. Because I've not done one abroad yet.
Got quite a lot this year.
But then quite a lot this year. So it's like going into that high tempo, like straight away, like hit the ground running.
So this year with us, we've got Morocco, France, Barcelona, Miami again, Italy, France again, Obviously, the Barcelona one's pretty big because that's Mauro Itoje, England rugby captain.
Name dropping now.
Name dropping.
Yeah. So Sam, we managed to book Mauro Itoje, and then like a week later, it was like he's announced as the England captain, like all over for Six Nations.
It was very good timing, yeah. Couldn't have timed it better.
Well, that's why I did it. I knew.
Because we're professional. And we know what we're doing.
So tell me about that then. Tell me about the booking system for that then. How did that come about? How did you get in his like radar?
Funny you should mention that. So when I did the Italy wedding, the bride and groom were actually good friends with Mauro, and he saw and Mimi, his partner, saw my work, how we were working out there, and then just through that wanted to go ahead and book us. But what I will say is, if you're a videographer or photographer and you are trying to get into that market of doing destination stuff, is sometimes you have to take a bit of a financial hit. So when I did the one out in Italy, and I'm happy to talk about money, I literally charged them 1,500 quid just so I could get Italy in the portfolio. But off the back of that, I've then, obviously, people have seen the work, made some connections, and then through the back of that, we've obviously got, you know, and I think it's a big thing. I think a lot of people think that they're going to be able to go straight out and do these destination weddings and these high ticket ones, but actually it is a slow process, and it can be painful sometimes. But yeah, just through doing that one in Italy, obviously caught the attention of the right people. So
I guess like the way I see it as well is, I suppose it's just like in business in general, isn't it? But it's the value isn't always in the money in a situation.
No,
like
exactly.
sometimes like I said, the opportunity to go abroad, the value isn't in that individual wedding. Obviously, you're going to still deliver on the wedding, but the value in that is what happens after that wedding.
Yeah, 100%.
And obviously it's true. Cause
I just had to drag Stan along and not really pay him anything.
Give him a free holiday, give him a little tan.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Couple of beers.
But now, like, it's okay now, isn't it? Like when we did Miami and stuff like that. And I think that we've learned, haven't we?
Completely.
Because I think and the Italy wedding we first did was incredible. Couple really happy with the film. But like, if I look back to what we did then to what we're doing now, it's very different.
I think if over since we started this, probably properly for about 3 years.
Yeah.
From where we started to what we do now,
It's different.
is massively
In the way that we approach filmmaking and obviously photos as well. But obviously, I think I learned a lot, and a lot changed for me when I went out with Fire and Ice. Obviously, that was huge. That I was very lucky to get that opportunity. Learned so much, and everyone, when I came back from that, was like, you can see that the filmmaking has changed, because the way they approach couples, the way they film is incredible. I don't want to give them a plug because they don't need one. They've got enough, but they are incredible. And that's where I learned so much. And that's what allowed me to progress, you know?
Yeah.
That was good. That was really professional for us.
that was very professional.
Thanks, man. I'm assuming you'll want to chop
Oh,
this.
I was going to talk about artistic shit.
Artistic shit. Wait, are we going to swear on this podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, thank fuck.
We'll just bleep it out.
I'll just bleep it out because I'm doing all the post editing. So yeah, it's all work for me. I was going to say about the you saying like your style's changed over the time, but that happens anyway, doesn't it? In general, because like a lot of people, I know there's a guy, Phil White. He's very popular, isn't he? I've just actually like pre-ordered his new.
Did any charge
just
like
got a new
15
course.
grand a wedding or something?
He's very good at what he does.
Obviously,
He's very
that's only
successful.
rumours. I don't know if that's true.
I don't know
but
what he charges. I don't know.
I've heard he's expensive.
Yeah, he's good though. Like he's doing all these. Yeah, he's a legend. But he basically did a course. I was listening to another podcast about it, and he did a course. I didn't know anything about it, and apparently everyone who's done the wedding videography has all done this one course from him. So I was like, oh okay. And then funny old thing, he does a podcast, and I was listening to it, and he's got a new version of it.
Oh,
so
really?
I've just pre-ordered that.
So you bought one, and
no, I didn't buy the original one, but he's got this new one, and I'm interested to see.
Stole it
but that's how you learn, isn't it? You learn from other people, and you take on bits of advice, and then
100%.
that's how you get your own style, because you learn the basics, and then over time you try one new thing every sort of wedding or something like that.
Other than Stan, he's had his same style since day one.
I think my style changes depending on what wedding it is.
You're into
I'll
film
shoot
now, aren't
it
you?
the same. Yeah, I'm a lot into film photography. So I think my editing wise, I try and lean towards making it more nostalgic.
What film camera are you using now? Like, what's your main film camera?
So my main film camera, I've got it here. Yeah, I actually do.
What is it?
It's a Fujifilm GA645. It's a medium format film camera.
Because every time we
From
use
the
it, I love
90s.
it. It's incredible. And sometimes we don't even tell the couples. We're just like, oh, Stan's got a film camera as well. And they love it, don't they?
Yeah. Well, that one is the Mamiya RB67, and it's huge.
How old is it?
So that one is, I think it came out in 74.
That's mad, isn't it?
Whoa.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's so sharp. Like, it's so crisp, the images.
So how does that work then? Do you just, because I've done a couple of weddings before with photographers who have like a film camera slung like on their shoulder, and they don't use it as their main camera all day, and then they just, I think it was like an upsell they did to the couple. Do you do the same kind of thing, or do you have like?
Well, we
you-
never
Or would you do it as like just as a bonus deliverable kind of thing, like?
Maybe we should upsell. This is
maybe
what
I
Joe
think, yeah, this is what Joe said. We've never upsold it. I just enjoy it so much, I just end up bringing it along, and I just end up using it.
Okay.
But it's a slower process, especially the RB67, because it's all like mechanical and it's huge and it's a lug to carry around.
Yeah, but the quality of the images is pretty.
Exactly.
We did it
It's
when we
pretty
did that style shoot in Pine's house.
Yeah.
We took it there. Oh, mate, it was gorgeous. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was actually up on the grid. And I don't know, because it's funny, because it's obviously not tack sharp and all this, but there is a characteristic to it.
Yeah.
That
It feels like it was taken like 30 years ago, especially those ones of Pine's house.
Yeah.
That's quite important, I think, because then you differentiate yourself. You got another tool to just, because some people will be really into that and they really love that, so you can like do more of it for that wedding. But it's just good to have that skill, isn't it? It's like a again, I say upsell. It's like
because it's more
another,
work. And obviously, I guess film's not cheap.
Film is very expensive.
And also, that every time we go to the airport, it is a mission with this guy, because it can't go through the X-ray machine. Is that right?
Yeah, no, it can't get X-rayed. So I have to argue with customs.
Every time we go to the airport, he's like, X-ray machine. I'm like, oh, I might as well wait.
And
half
they're
an
like,
hour.
no, we're not sticking it. We're going to stick it through. It'll be fine. I'm like, no, don't you X-ray it.
What does it do? It like,
It's some films it will be completely fine, but you don't want to take that risk.
yeah.
But some films it will just fry,
Yeah.
and then you just get the results back and it's nothing. But again, shooting film is like risky anyway. Like I dropped off a roll at the lab the other week, and it got stuck in their machine, and it just overexposed everything. So everything came out completely like white.
Wow.
Because it got stuck. They completely refunded me and gave me a couple of extra
but if
rolls
that's
of film.
someone's
But
wedding-
luckily it wasn't. It was just like a test.
Scary,
it was a test
isn't it?
roll. But yeah, if that was someone's wedding,
I
There's
guess
no way
that's,
around that either, is there?
no, there's completely not.
I guess that's happened in the past. It must have done.
Oh,
Back
yeah,
in the-
100%.
back in the 70s, that was like the thing.
yeah,
probably.
yeah. I mean,
Nowadays, it's like something else. But yeah, back in the day, it's like, oh, a bloody film. What are they called? What's the
Film
name?
cameras.
No, the person who does the developers.
See, he knows.
So let's take it back a bit. Let's go back to Miami, right? Because I wanted to talk to you guys about Miami because I saw it on Instagram.
I thought he was going to go, I wasn't invited.
because no, it's
Actually,
okay.
you were doing a wedding
I had other
On the
things.
same
doing
day,
it-
yeah.
You were doing a
Yeah,
timeless wedding the same day.
Yeah, and it was a great wedding.
Yeah, that did look sick, to be fair.
It was good. It was in December 21st, was it? I think,
Jess
just before
and
Christmas.
Freddie?
Jess and Freddie, yeah.
Yeah, it looked sick.
Yeah, it was a
Really
good, really good day. They made the most of it because even though it was a December wedding, it's still like, they still had the right atmosphere and everything.
What did you
There was
shoot
no-
that on?
That was on my Lumix.
It was on the
Yeah, it was
Lumix.
on the S5 II.
He's fully switched to Sony now.
I know, I saw. I'm proud.
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of
Sony
myself.
fanboy.
Let's talk about Miami, but that's
Yeah.
a big thing.
So while I was,
Freezing.
it wasn't the warmest of conditions, but I was grafting.
Yeah.
You saw because I had that did you see that 360 camera, the BTS stuff I get?
It's really
I've
good.
not seen that
I'll
yet.
start
So
sharing it on
it's the
stories.
Insta 360 X4, and you can mount it onto your camera. You mount it onto your rig basically, and it obviously records everything. If you've seen 360 cameras before, and on the app, you go into it in the app, and you can just reframe everything. So you can,
Sick.
like that Francis Bourgeois guy, the train spotter guy, he has it on his head like that. You could do that.
We're going to try and get it on a bride this year.
Yeah, well,
Right.
it's good to be maybe like on a dance floor because like just give it to someone on a stick, and then just like you can then just work with the footage afterwards.
That's a good shout.
It might be quite funny because when you wave it around, you can.
But we need to do that before this is released because someone else is going to do it.
Someone's going to be like that.
Yeah, so you can like if you had it on a dance floor on a stick, you could just kind of have it there with you, waving it about a little bit. But when in post, you can then you can track people and stuff like afterwards. So.
So
even though you're waving it around, it will just the footage will be dead still because it just tracks.
Clever.
Yeah.
It's very good. Anyway,
Miami, baby.
Talk me through the trip.
I think.
Should we talk about the trip? Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, it was very good.
Oh, sorry.
Not all of the trip.
Moving that close.
The bits of the trip you're comfortable with sharing.
Yeah. So
do you want to go back to how it started?
Go for it. 'Cause I can't remember how it started.
I only remember my version of events.
Well, I met Sam for a coffee at where was it, Darts Farm.
Yeah.
And he was flexing.
Yeah.
Because I was like, "Oh, Sam, I'm a really big fan of yours, and I'd like to have some business advice, please." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to Miami, mate."
Not true.
Do you know
And
what?
he's like, "Yeah, good to Miami." And he's like showing me these like the correspondence with the groom. Was it the groom?
Fabio,
Yeah.
Absolute legend.
Yeah.
So that's my experience.
That's your
with it.
version. So my version of the event of how I found out was I was at home in Brighton, and I was having a nap. And then Sam calls me. I'm like half asleep, and I answer the phone, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, I got some news." And I was just like, "Oh yeah." He was like, "Yeah, so we're going to Miami," and I was like, still half asleep, like, "What? What's going on? Well, what do you mean?" And he was like, "Yeah, we're going." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then just hung up, and then went back, and I think I called him like a couple of seconds later, like, "What?" And then that was probably about a year before we went.
Yeah.
I think because there was a lot of planning.
Well, we've done this year's been some amazing locations. Obviously, some of it's been with Fire and Ice, but this year was Greece, Holland, Canada, Miami, Italy.
You mean last year?
Last year. This year we've obviously got a lot, but yeah, last year was incredible. But Miami for us was a big deal because A, it was the last wedding of the year, and B, it was like our first super big one. So it's not like a traditional you turn up and film on one day and then go. This is filmed over 3 days because everyone's always like, how did you get so much footage? But when we turn up, day one, we just rest, recover because we were knackered, weren't we?
We didn't even do that with this one. We went straight into it.
Did we go straight into it?
Yeah, straight into it, first day.
So first day was...
Can't even remember.
It's all a blur. I think we didn't even sleep that much either.
No, I was tired.
I'm rubbish on like flights. Like I can't sleep on flights, so I'm screwed if I go.
I can sleep anyway.
Yeah, you'll be fine. It's called vodka.
A nightcap.
Yeah. So where did, it was called Bricknell or something they took us, wasn't it, on the first day? So basically on the first day, they had 3 outfits and 3 locations that were all pre-planned. So with the couple, we have a chat, we have a Zoom, and we say, what is it that you want to achieve on day one? They sort of suggest some locations, some outfits, and then we see how we can tie it all together. But what was really nice is they were all so opposite. So when we went to, I think it was called Bricknell. I'm not sure. It might be wrong. But anyway,
you're talking about the arty place?
Yeah.
The spray painted walls and
yeah,
stuff.
so it was like real graffiti.
It's like their Miami's art district.
Yeah,
I wanna say.
real cool.
Yeah.
He had a leather jacket on. She had like a real cool black top on with some jeans. They had hair and makeup in, even just for day one. So this has nothing to do with the wedding. Went round. Rafa was there as well. So it was me, you, and Rafa. Shout out Rafa. And then basically we kind of did it as a styled shoot. So that's location 1, take them around. Location 2 is the beach. Miami.
No, you're how this is completely backwards. The last location of that day was the beach.
Oh. So what was location 2?
Location 2. Oh wait, no, maybe it was.
This guy.
You guys need to get your story straight because I don't believe you.
It didn't actually happen. We made it up.
I saw the beach. That
Beach
looks
was
awesome.
sick.
You had that shot.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, I feel bad
Remember
interrupting
when we
you.
nearly
It
died
was
because we nearly missed the sunrise? And Fabio, the guy who's driving the Range
sunset.
Rover, he was like, we can't miss the sunset. There's no point going. And we left a little bit late. I just hair and makeup and things like that. Oh my God. I think I got a BTS of it. I was literally hanging onto the car. It's like a V8 Range Rover. He's like, what? And they're like, shit.
And then we got there, couldn't find a place to park.
Yeah, so he just chucked it anywhere, didn't he?
Chucked it anywhere. And then we literally ran to the beach.
Yeah.
Ran
I
to the
reckon
beach.
we got
They got straight in the water, and then we
3
were
minutes.
just filming straight away.
3 minutes of gold light. That was it.
Yeah.
It's quite funny, isn't it, when you have like the sort of, you see, most people just see the shot,
Yeah.
like, and then it's like you don't know the chaos
Yeah.
that goes
No,
behind like
it
getting the
was-
shot.
And that's like in the
that
front of
applies-
wedding.
That's all weddings as well, isn't it? Like, there's
Oh,
always
yeah.
you see like the shot, and it's like you don't know what, like you could have jumped in a bush or something to
Yeah.
like get that shot.
Yeah,
It looks
100%.
it's not always
Well,
the dignified
The biggest thing for that is obviously, I'd say the most important shot that we had, the biggest shot that we had, was as they were leaving the aisle, they'd spent.
That was day 2. Stay to day
Yeah,
1.
oh,
day
sorry,
1,
yeah,
day
day
1.
2.
And then after that,
Was that it? Was he doing?
No,
the
so we did
location as
the
well,
so we
didn't
did the beach, and then we went back and they got changed into the third outfits. He wore this white tux, and she wore this like gorgeous red dress.
It looked
They both
incredible.
looked stunning. And then we just walked around the streets of Miami. We were like stood in the middle of the traffic, and we got them to walk down the middle of the street, and we were blocking traffic, everything.
Oh wow.
And it
So,
was
so day 1, right? So that's the end of day 1.
that's day
You
one.
did those
yeah,
shoots.
I think
So it's a busy day.
Busy day. We started at 7. I think we finished at 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
So obviously you're in America.
Yes.
And you're in Florida, which is like a unique part of America. There's lots of
Yeah.
like, is it Latino, like
Yeah.
a lot of Latino population down there. So like, how does is it just a styled shoot, or like, is there any wedding activity going on at this
What, on
point?
day 1?
No. Yeah, is it just,
It's literally just.
That
so
was
it's
more of
essentially
like
it's a
yeah,
shoot day? So
that was a shoot day.
Is that
yeah.
what it was?
Yeah. There was people walking around getting like flowers ready and things like that, but the actual couple weren't concerned about that. They were just ready.
So
they
they-
just wanted content, film.
Wow. So
That's all going to go into their film. All of
Yeah.
that isn't for socials and stuff like that. Obviously, we'll share it or have shared it, but that is for them. There's elements because it's who they are. Like they're both quite artistic. They're obviously the beach is part of their life. They got the dogs, so we wanted to make sure that that's encapsulated. Big word into their film. So there's a reason for it. Yeah,
I've never heard you say the word encapsulated before.
it's good, wasn't it?
So-
Brain.
You know, have a sleep.
So then
Oh, you're joking. Man.
day 2.
So they took apart a whole day before the day before their wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just to hang around with you guys.
yeah, basically.
that sounds
They're so
crazy,
lucky,
but
yeah.
people do.
How lucky are they?
Yeah, we were just
So
chatting
that's
for a
crazy, though,
couple
isn't
of
it?
hours.
Well, that's not crazy. That's like shows how much commitment they have
Yeah.
to the films as well.
And
Because
I really
like,
think that is with people that look at these big films now that they don't understand is it's not one day. If you these really big high end films, it is shot over multiple days.
yeah, so there's a level of commitment from the couple as well that has to be kind of like
Yeah,
understood
100%.
that if you want this like end product, if you want this this film to be this
Yeah.
way, this is how we do it, and this is
Yeah.
our methods and stuff. Okay, yeah, I get it.
Oh, actually, yeah. So, for example, this year we got a couple out in Greece. Going to be really a nice one, and we've done the same thing. They saw the Miami one and said, "How have you got so much content?" And then straight away, it's got to be done over multiple days, and they're like, "Oh, that's fantastic." Obviously, things are more expensive, but I think people that appreciate films and the fact that they're getting married and it's one time in a lifetime want that extra content. You know.
I guess as well, like the fact that when you're like the day before a wedding can be quite stressful for people because all the details are coming in, all the last minute sort of preparations are going on. So it can be quite hectic. So in a way, it's a way for them to just kind of slow down a bit.
We did the details the day before, didn't we?
We did
Forgot to
do the
mention that
details,
bit.
yeah,
we did all the
Oh.
details
Yeah,
the
so
day
when they
before
were
the wedding.
So when they,
Oh, so is
when
that
they were
like
doing hair
rings?
and makeup, we smashed out the details because we were like, let's just get ahead here. while we
Yeah,
can.
okay. Oh, so it was like kind of. So then you don't have to do that on the day, then, obviously, do you?
No.
Yeah, we just
That's
focused
cool.
on the couple. Yeah.
Oh, right. So that's quite nice for them as well, just have that kind of. Because I think with couple shoot, with any wedding, I think I always say to couples that I speak to is like, that's like a moment where they can just like breathe for a sec. They can just chill. Because like it's so full on. They're all the friends and family, everyone they love is there, and it's like pretty like intense, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
it's quite a busy day normally.
And then you got a crew putting cameras in your face. It's quite
yeah. So it's
It can be quite intimidating. yeah.
Sometimes it's nice for people just to have 5 minutes together and just chill. Because like I remember my wedding was like 10 years ago, but like we didn't really see each other during the day. We just like tag team. Yeah, hi, see you later. I'm going
Yeah.
that way. You go that way.
Yeah.
Like see you in 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'll go speak to like granddad. You speak to
I would
granny.
say UK weddings are very different to weddings abroad. Just the way they do things. So, for example, the first look, that's done before the ceremony most of the time. The couple.
Yeah.
see each other.
What's your thoughts on that?
I love that.
I kind of like it,
I
but
think it's
it's
brilliant.
never a thing. I've not done one over here.
I keep asking couples, do you want to do the first look before the ceremony? No one's ever keen. I think it's a brilliant idea. It's so much more intimate. You put a mic on one of them as well, and you get that genuine reaction.
You'd have to have like a couple of angles on them, wouldn't you, to get
Oh
it
yeah,
properly
yeah,
in.
run like two
But
or
then
three.
if you've got the space, then you can take the opportunity to get multiple angles. Whereas doing it in the ceremony, I'd say it's less personal because you've got all those people there, but then obviously you got her coming down the aisle and then you zoom in on him. Hopefully he'll be crying. If he's not, then
Game over.
it's wasted. But yeah, I think that'd be a better way to do it, is have it before the ceremony.
I guess it depends on the logistics, because sometimes, over here we have a lot of church weddings that are different to the venue is in a different place to the church, and the logistics
timings.
of it. It's like as tight as it is. A wedding day is so tight for time. So like, I imagine it might be they'd have to definitely like allocate that to do. The only thing I have done is I haven't done it. First touch. So
Oh
a
yeah, I've
wedding
heard about that.
So
I've
they
not
stood
done it.
round a corner of a building and they just reached around and touched each other's fingertips, which I thought is kind of cute. But I was
Cute.
like, part of me was like, you might as well just do the full thing,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
just don't bother at all. It's like half.
I mean, for the footage, it would look.
it was nice for them. I mean, they were really emotional.
Yeah, but
and
when
they-
you capture
they-
that, you just got two fingers touching, didn't you? Because they're not going to see each
Would
other.
be super wide.
But you get their
a wide
faces.
angle lens.
Oh right, yeah, that's right, yeah.
yeah, there are different lenses available.
Otherwise, we could
No,
just.
but what I'm thinking,
Otherwise, it'll be our hands.
You
We'll
don't
be
get them
like-
interacting with each other face to face, but you still get like. Oh, I remember that one. Like they were still really emotional, so you can still, you
Capture
still
the
see their
face.
faces. Like you don't have to like hide round from the bride. Like
I just think I would just rather they saw each other.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, every time that a first touch has been organised in a wedding, it never happens because there's too much going on in the day.
Yeah.
Whereas with the first look, it has to happen.
Yeah. Well, let's bring it back to Miami,
Oh yeah, sorry.
because we
Okay.
kind of it's
We're
good.
segued.
It's interesting conversation, but let's go to day 2. So day 2 is the actual wedding.
Yep.
So tell me about that. Tell me about
Drama.
what happened. What time did you wake up? Because it's a
God,
long
what-
day the day before.
We got long day before. I think we got up about 7, and then we met them at their place around 7:30. So we were like, got dressed, showered, straight there. Then it was just bridal prep, bridal prep. Can't speak.
Pep rally.
Pep.
Yeah, straight away, wasn't it?
And then we were waiting on the groomsmen to arrive while all the girls were getting their makeup done. So we started to film that. So then at that point, it's kind of like normal wedding mode. Like
Yeah.
all the timings were
Yeah.
roughly the same. So yeah, the bridesmaids, the bride and the groomsmen got ready. They were in one room. Fucking hell, I'm not doing this very well, am I?
You're fine.
Stuttering. Too much tea. And so they were in one room, but they were blocked off down the middle. So it was quite easy for us to just hop round each side to capture what we needed. Because we were both running FX3s
Yeah.
and 35 and 28 mil.
Yeah, I think
lenses?
so. Yeah.
Um,
For all the nerds out there, like I don't know how
Yeah,
nerdy people want to go, but then we're running the Ninja monitors. The new
Oh, I
ones,
could go nerdy.
The new Ninja monitors with the SSDs in.
and we had handheld and gimbal.
Yeah, it's just all day.
Yeah.
Pretty hefty rig.
Oh, and then
Switched.
Rafa, what was he recording on? Oh, he
He-
was FX3 as well. So we had 3 FX3s going just in the morning.
Yeah. So then morning went fine. Everything went on time. And then the limousines pulled up, and there was 2, obviously, one for the groom, one for the brides and the bridesmaids. So Sam obviously went with the bride, and I went with the groom. And my journey was quite smooth, calm and collective.
Mine blew up.
Sam's limousine blew up on the highway.
Genuinely.
What?
Yeah. Halfway to the wedding.
And they were stranded in the middle of the highway, but like
Holy shit.
on
But-
the wedding day.
I stayed professional because
You took pictures of it.
it's in the film.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So it's like Matrix.
And if you watch the
you know
behind
the
the
scene in
scenes,
Matrix where they're on the highway and it's like the agents are coming.
I think basically the driver tried to cover it up, but there's only so much you can cover up a blown up engine because we were going down the highway and it just went, and it was like we also looked at each other
Oh,
like,
so it didn't blow out. It just conked out.
no, it blew. It was there was smoke coming out. It was
Yeah.
pooped, wasn't it?
What's the bride's name?
Valentina.
What was she like?
She?
Did you keep her cool?
No. Yeah. No. She.
A little
Don't
bit.
blame her.
She was
The situation got better.
dressed, But she was a lot better than a lot of people would have been because she saw the funny side. And also, I heard Fabio on the phone to the limo company, and I would have been very scared.
I was in the limousine with him, and he was not happy.
Yeah. So they got
Rightly
an Uber.
so.
They got an Uber to come pick us up within 5 minutes.
Yep.
I got on the film. I got everyone put like hitchhiking for an Uber on the like highway or whatever, and then the Uber guy was a legend because he had loads of food and drink in the car, so we just started helping ourselves.
And you got there literally like 10 minutes after I did.
Yeah.
So time wise,
This is before the wedding. This is before the wedding's even happened.
But that's what I like. I like that because it's like that's so unique, obviously. But
Scary.
they'll look back at that and they'll be like, "Oh, that's like the story of our day and that kind of thing." But
Completely,
obviously,
yeah.
at the time, it's like shit scary because you don't want to.
I think,
it.
especially with the weddings, that something happens that's quite dramatic like that. Again, it tells the story. It helps us tell the story, and it'll always be part of your wedding story as you tell it to people, being like, our limousine broke down. Or
Because I didn't even have her mic'd up.
No.
So I just got the camera in as much as possible, and I was like, "What's going on?" So it's just like probably a little bit annoying, but then she started telling us, and it was in the film. So, I mean, their film's going to be like, I think it's like 45 minutes to an hour plus, so it's a long film. But that's what some people want.
Yeah.
You know, some people want shorter, some people, and they wanted a nice long film. So it's like actually all this extra stuff ties in quite nicely. So we're halfway through day. No, we're a quarter of the way into day one, and it's already day two, and it's already a headache.
Wow.
So, but everyone got to the venue, and the venue was gorgeous. I don't know what the venue was called. Do you remember what the venue was?
Was it outdoors?
Yeah.
I remember seeing. Did you have the what they called the flares or what they called
The paint bombs.
Yeah.
Well, that's the bit that went wrong. Well, it didn't go wrong, but it was a bit controversial.
So did it all go well, ceremony wise? You set up all the cameras, everything, all good?
So everything was set, ready to go.
Yeah.
Had 6 angles.
6. We did forget the drone,
Wow.
but then that plays into the story later.
Yeah.
So
Where was the drone?
the drone was packed away in a bag.
What, back at the hotel?
No,
it's in the bag.
it was at the venue, but it was just in the bag.
Okay, so it wasn't ready to go.
It wasn't ready to go, but we had the 6 other angles. So we thought we were covered anyway, and we told, what was it, the wedding planner and somebody else? We told everyone.
We had an FX6, didn't we?
Yeah.
At the back, super wide, because we knew when they walked down the aisle, there's going to be this massive 40-50-foot explosion.
And we were going to capture it like wide so you could see everything.
Yeah.
And then
Honestly, it's so annoying.
You want to get like as many angles as possible on that, don't
Completely,
you? Because I love it when when those cuts where they do in the edit where it's like bang, bang, bang,
Yeah.
and you see it happening like over
That's
and
what
over
we
again.
did. That's what we did, Joe.
Yeah.
Until
the wedding planner decided to stand up
in front of the
camera.
FX6.
Oh.
So the main angle, the FX6, we got it in the end. There's workarounds, but her head, literally, as it's going off, she puts her head in front of the lens, and it pulls focus to her head.
yeah.
And then as she moves back, they're slightly out of focus. With the explosion, I think basically Rafa, pushed her out the way.
Oh, you showed me that, but I thought the actual explosion was in focus.
Explosion's in focus, but everything was meant to be in focus. I think it was like F11.
Oh, right.
Everything was meant to be in focus.
But I said to you, like, I think it's kind of like a blessing because I liked that shot because the smoke was in focus and that's what everyone's looking at.
Yeah.
Like in that moment, they're not necessarily looking at all the people. They're looking at, wow. Like
And we
smoke.
had the 6 other angles on them, so it was okay.
Oh, yeah.
But at the time,
Redundancy.
It was quite stressful.
I was a little bit
But-
annoyed.
So did you communicate with that to the planner before the
I shouted
time?
at her.
Yeah, we
No, like before, did you say,
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
way,
everybody-
we told everyone.
please don't stand here,
Yeah.
like, you know.
everybody knew.
She agreed, like she understood?
Yeah,
Like,
she
I think
understood.
so.
Yeah,
But she didn't speak much English. So
She
I'm
nodded.
I'm starting to think
So we
that
just-
might have been the problem.
we just
Don't
shouted
stand in
loud,
front of that camera. Okay.
and she stood in front of it.
Yeah. So
maybe
yeah.
she thought you meant stand
stand in front of that camera. You see
Make
that
sure.
camera there?
Stand in front of
Stand in
it.
front of it.
Yeah, this is your day. This is about you.
That 10 grand FX6 rig, ignore it. Your iPhone's going to do it way better.
Yeah.
Yeah. But luckily, 5 minutes before that, before the explosion.
Oh, yeah. 5 minutes before the explosion.
Oh, we've lost our.
We've lost that. So to the listeners out there,
Yeah.
we've lost temporarily lost connection to our logo on the screen here.
Do we have to get it back up or should we just leave it?
We're going to pause right here, and we're back.
And we're back.
We have a logo. It's all good.
Okay.
Where were we? What were we?
5 minutes before.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you want to tell it or should I tell it?
You can tell it because I'll cry if I tell it.
So-
I'm a bit stressed.
We're focused on the ceremony.
As in,
and
like, mentally focused. not
mentally
cameras.
focused.
Yeah, okay.
Cameras are focused. That we hope. Everything was going well, and then Sam realised one very important aspect that we promised the couple that we didn't have in the air. So Sam just turned to me and was like, "This explosion's about to go off.
It
We're
was literally-
contractually obliged.
Yeah,
We-
it was literally. I reckon we
we
had
need
2 minutes before it went off.
We
Okay.
need the drone." So I literally just dropped the camera that I had. Well, not like physically, obviously.
never
That'd
seen
be
it
a
run
lot
so
of
fast.
And I sprinted all the way around. Sam didn't even tell me where the drone was. So we had like all of our bags.
So we're just like nose in the air.
Yeah, just ran inside to where all of our bags was, and like I was ripping these bags open, and I was like batteries were flying out, like, and I managed obviously found it, but then drones are a bit of a faff to start up and
Yeah.
get in the air. So then I'm sat there thinking, turning it on, and it's going like beep beep beep. I'm sat there like shaking, like oh my god.
I can't see it.
Luckily, I get up in the air and literally, I just get it into position, hit record, and like 2 seconds later, it goes off.
Lovely angle as well.
And I was like, bam, and I was just like, oh my God.
But I couldn't see the drone, so I was like, oh my god. It's
And
not
then-
happened.
Yeah. So then I got back.
Thank you, Joe.
I landed the drone safely. Yeah.
haircut.
Pay extra for that. Anyway, so landed your drone safely. And then I got back to Raf and Sam, and you guys were freaking out because of the
The
situation.
weather, yeah, with the her walking in front of the FS6 and the drone wasn't up.
So obviously we've got 6 cameras on the ground, so we can't review all the footage then and there.
Yeah.
So we're checking the FX6, and which was going to be the main angle.
Yeah.
But luckily, I saved the day, just saying.
He did. It was a sick angle.
Good.
Got the drone up in time. But it's because we were running so many cameras. Do you know what I mean? If you're just running 3 cams and a drone, it's fine. But we had, I think, 2 on each side, 1 at the back, plus the drone. It's a lot. So to us, when one goes wrong, it's like a big deal. But when you think about it, we're still running more cameras than most
we're
people would
covered.
anyway.
Yeah.
But we want to have those 6 angles so that when it's going off, it's like...
Yeah, it's always good. I mean, like, when you add more complexity into anything,
It's stressful.
There's chances of something going wrong obviously increase, don't they? So, like,
Yeah.
something likely would go wrong, but then that's the whole point of having the angles, that you've got the redundancies there. Like, so if, you know, you can fall back to other things. I guess that's, like, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, and I think the most important thing is we still got it.
We got it. Yeah,
Got it.
100%.
Because if we didn't have the drone, the shots were so good from all the other cameras, because we're making ourselves sound rubbish, but if you see the other shots, they're incredible.
Yeah.
But it was really important to me, because we never promised them. It's not like a contract thing, but it's like, I really want that drone shot, you know? Because if we don't get it, that is another angle missing.
yeah.
It did look good.
And it did look good. Looked very good.
So then the rest of the wedding, I guess, plays out as planned, right? Like, you go into the reception, speeches. Is that like a standard kind of format, or because I know American weddings are different, aren't they? Right?
A lot of surprises, wasn't there?
There was a lot of that we didn't even know about.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that was later on in the evening. So I think they started it off. They got everybody sat down ready for meal, and then they came in. Didn't they do their first dance straight away?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think they just walked straight in when everyone was sat down, waiting for their meals to come out, and they knocked out their first dance straight away.
Yeah. Okay. I think isn't that a thing? Do they do that in America? Is that an American thing?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Comment down below if that's an American thing.
To all our,
think it is.
2 American listeners.
Yeah. It's all the American folk out there.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I think they did.
Because
Unless
I know
remember
there's
it
certain
I
things
know
they
this
do
is
in
going to
different
sound
orders.
really stupid, and in fact, in my head, I think I know the
If
answer.
it sounds stupid to you, then
right. So
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Canada
Yeah.
is not a part of America, is it?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's not.
It's kind of controversial.
It's not
at
the
moment, actually.
USA. It's still like
No, but I mean on a map, it's not the
continent.
same.
It's part of America, the continent.
it's not
North
like-
America
Yeah.
continent.
But it's not America.
a state of the United States.
See, you've lost me.
But there's a
Right, okay.
That's
I'll
controversy.
put it in a simple way.
If you Google that, you'll
I'll
find
put
out
it in
more.
a simple way.
Yeah.
On a map,
Yeah.
is the mud connected.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's America.
It's like Scotland.
Yeah,
So-
it's North America. Yeah.
So
it's
what I
part
will
of North
say
America.
is when we did the one out in Canada, I think they did it like the same as the UK. They did the first dance towards the end.
Towards the end.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because Canada's part of the Commonwealth. Okay, we're not going to talk about
Yeah, geography.
geopolitics. Okay, we got a bit of a sheltered
Okay.
upbringing here. Where,
We make sick films and photos, but when
Okay.
it comes to the rest of the world,
We didn't do so well at school.
derp.
my mum a third.
Yeah, we can talk about that down the pub or whatever. But I can learn you on geography and
Yes,
stuff
please.
and a
Thank
bit,
you
bit of
very
that
much.
if you want to.
Yeah, kind of.
So-
maybe.
back to Miami.
Yeah.
Segue again.
So take me through. Let's fast forward a bit. Let's go to dancing and
Oh
the
my-
evening.
Crazy.
Like, is it this like? I haven't seen any footage of it yet. But is it like? I'm assuming it's going to be this like really nice outdoor.
No.
Is it outdoor? Indoor?
no.
I mean,
they
it's really
had-
nice, but it was indoor.
Yeah, they had like a marquee set up.
Like immaculate
But
decorations.
it's not like a marquee; it's a Miami marquee. So it was like, wow,
yeah.
Posh.
And then essentially,
Very well decorated.
There's another funny story there, actually. Like, I don't realize how much goes on until you review it back. But basically, they hired this giant guy to come in on stilts, yeah? Like,
With two
Okay.
with two drummers. But no one
And
told
dancers.
us this. So I was stood by the door capturing something, and then all of a sudden it's like, doof. Something really epic's going on. We're all looking around like, wow, what's going on?
Nobody's told us.
No one's told us. And I was stood by the door. The door flies open, and I felt a push. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And there's a drummer trying to push me out of the way. I didn't know. And I turned around, as a tall man. Yeah.
Couple
Oh,
of
wow.
dancers.
Like a circus thing.
Yeah, yeah. it was
And he
really
did
cool.
like a dry ice gun as well that he
Yeah.
was just firing into the
Oh,
crowd.
and big
sick.
dancers with butterfly suit
Yeah,
things.
I think I fell in love with one of those.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
The camera's just going down. He's like, "Oh, my love.
Where have you
actually-
been all my life?
Rafa did.
Did find love.
Did find
yeah,
love.
Rafa did find love.
Oh.
So he was our third shooter. Lives over in America. All of our American weddings, he's with us. Or going to be with us for future ones as well. And yeah, he met a girl there, and
One
he
of the bridesmaids?
One of the bridesmaids. He FaceTimed me the other day, and they
Now
were
they're married?
And well,
Not
I
quite.
said, I said, "Who's that in the background?" And he walked up, and I was like, "It's you!" And yeah, they met
Yeah.
on the because we nearly didn't get a ride home because he was our ride home, but because they fell in love.
He took her to the airport.
Did he?
Yeah. That's why he left so early, didn't he? He dropped her to the airport.
Oh yeah, he did.
He
didn't
did. Yeah. We should have known then, but I think we were too tired at that
Yeah.
point.
And then we flew home.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
That's
a lot.
good.
It's a lot, actually, isn't it?
And then-
have we missed anything?
Probably. And then it was Christmas.
Oh yeah, I got back Christmas Eve.
So what's your like? You're gonna have big takeaways from it, I guess, right? So you're gonna have.
Oh, loads.
You probably learned quite a lot.
Yeah,
like
loads.
I know it's a big deal. It's a big one. To get out of the way and done, and reflecting on it though, like I bet you learned quite a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we both did, didn't we?
Oh, massive.
Even
I'm
if it's
looking-
just confidence of having like,
Yeah.
I guess like if it was me, like like when you land there, it's a big deal to all of us really,
Yeah.
isn't it, having that, and to land there must be a bit like, oh my god, I'm actually like kind of
Yeah.
imposter syndrome a little bit. Like
Yeah.
I know I probably would a little
Yeah.
bit, but then I
No,
guess having
100%.
those shoots before the day and stuff, you're building that relationship and the
Yeah.
rapport.
Absolutely.
No, but I agree. I think that's a big thing is that imposter syndrome. I don't know if you guys get it, but I still get it now.
Yeah.
I get it so bad.
Yeah.
I'm so bad.
It's social media, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone's killing it on social media.
Yeah.
Even like I won't go into too much, but it's depressing. You're looking at your phone.
No, yeah,
flicking through.
I try and vet my time scrolling on
Yeah.
like because I love everyone. Like, there's loads of people that I admire their work, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like I don't know. It's like like people say it for general things, don't they?
Yeah.
With like I don't know, body image and things like that,
Wow.
and all sorts of stuff like that. But I have that thing for wedding for
Yeah.
like wedding films. So I follow a lot of people that I admire quite a lot, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm never going to be as good as them.
Yeah.
But so I have to kind of vet my time a little bit and
I
cut
did a
them
mass
out.
unfollowing the other day. I think I unfollowed about 2,500 accounts because of that.
I think it's a double-edged sword, though. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, yes, imposter syndrome. You know, we all hate it, and we think we're terrible. But at the same time, I think it pushes all of us to then work harder. Or if we see a creative shot that somebody else has done, we're just like, we need to do that
Yeah.
on this wedding.
I guess it's a good place to get inspiration from, I guess.
But it
because
can
you're
be
watching people's work. And
completely. But it can be unhealthy, as you say.
yeah, it's just checking yourself, because otherwise, I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be as good as that. But, you know, things take time, don't they? Rome wasn't built in a day and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, what are we now? Timeless Weddings?
Year 3.
Year 3. It's only our 3rd year.
Yeah.
So it's still very new. There's so much to learn. Obviously, a lot to learn, but I think we're getting there.
Yeah, it's good to have that background in the actual skill set, actually being able to do the job, you know. And
well, and I'm super glad you've come on board, because you haven't even talked about your film background. Some of the stories he's got are insane. Maybe that's for episode 2. I mean, you met the Queen.
Oh yeah,
through filming, but yeah, no, you got some sick stories. So
that's for another time, a dark time.
Joe meets the
Darker
Queen.
time.
No.
Oh my God.
Not sure if you should use
Episode
the
2.
royal family and it's a dark time together.
Should we just dim the lights?
I mean, let's just, before we kind of like wrap it up or whatever, we should probably talk about how we started, because this is our first episode, in case you haven't realised, the shaky sort of like chat that we've got. I think it's been all right.
I've enjoyed it.
We've got into the flow.
So
of
the
it,
3 listeners, 2 of them being my mum and dad.
but I think it'd be good to like sort of say how we started in weddings, you know, like, should I go first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, we've just
Let me
talked.
talk about
Yeah.
myself.
Do it.
I started film weddings back in, was it 2021, I think it was, so 4 years ago. I spoke to my friend Sean, big up Sean Hodge. So I went to Sean one day and I was like, mate, I love what you do, because he's a big fan of Sean. I'm proper like fangirl. He's one of my best mates. I've known him for years. And I was like watching his stuff on Instagram and I was like, how the do you do that? Like, you're making a movie. Like, I didn't even know that was like possible for weddings, because I'd never like seen wedding films, because I'm not like, it's not my algorithm like at that point. And I was like, how the fuck do you do that? So I went to his house and he was like, yeah, just, I've been doing this now for a couple of years. And he was taking me through all of his like what he does and how he does it all. And I'm like proper geeking out. I love it. So he's taking me through his editing process and all that. I'm like, oh my God, so you actually do that as a job? Like, I didn't think it was a job, because I did my first wedding I filmed was my technically filmed was my mate's wedding up in Worcester, and so I was like an usher and I filmed it like vloggy style, like on my phone. So I just filming all day, did like little time lapses and stuff, and I put together like, I was like on the dance floor in people's faces, I did like a little interviews with people. I was just off the cuff. I was just like drinking and stuff as one of the guests, and I was just like made this little film for the guys, Luke and Lucy, and they were like, They had a videography team like there for their wedding, and they were like, "Mate, your stuff's like your film. We enjoyed it way more than than the one we paid for." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And they were like, "You should do it as a job." And I was like, "I didn't. That's not a job. Like, it's not a thing." Like, and then that was a few years before that. But so like, fast forward into with Sean, I was like, because I still had that mindset. I was like, Sean, it's not a job. Like, and he's like, "Yeah, this is what I do." And I was like, "Oh, shit! Like, teach me, you're a wise one." So then he was like, "Yeah, just borrow." He gave me a camera to borrow, and I borrowed it. And I went down to like the barbecue in Plymouth, and I was filming. Like, my mate was a busker, so he was like busking down there. Shout out Trozzy. So I was like filming him, and then we did a bit of that. And Sean was like, "Oh, come on with a wedding with me, and I can show you the ropes," kind of thing. So went on for a few weddings with him as basically as carrying his bags, and I brought a camera just to try some stuff out, and he just kind of helped me get me on my way. And I was working with him for quite a while, doing like as his second shooter and stuff. And then I sort of branched out and started doing my own stuff. So
no, it's the bollocks.
Yeah, I learned a lot like in a very short space of time.
Yeah,
but I do get like that though. Like, the way I learn, I'm just like, if I'm into it, and I'm like, I don't have any time for like. There's no time for Coronation Street. There's no time for like there's no time for any of that. I'm not sitting there watching like Below Decks. Well, not too much.
Actually, you bought an Xbox.
I do watch that. I got a PS5.
Yeah, he bought a PS5.
Yeah.
I called him
But,
first time in over a year. I called him and he was playing the PS5. And he never does anything that's not work. And I was like, "Are you not working?" And he was like, "Well, yeah, I'm allowed a bit of time." I was like, "It's all going downhill now, mate." First time in like a year.
Yeah, so like that was my I tried it out. I tried out a bit of respite time, but
it didn't work, did it?
I was straight back into it. Yeah, so I started doing that, and I was so I started doing it for work and stuff as well. So I was doing
That's sick.
video production and all that kind of stuff. So
It's your go.
your go, Stan.
But I do need.
How I
I'm
got
going
into
to actually.
weddings.
Should we
piss
give him like a
myself.
teddy to hold? Is this like the counselling
Does he
session?
fit in?
Like you can only talk if you have the teddy.
Oh, maybe that might be a good idea. What's he doing?
I need a wee. I'm gonna wet
Oh,
myself.
okay.
Shall we pause it?
No, you can just talk because it'll be tight.
Oh, I suppose so.
Okay, bye.
Fuck.
Tell us about when you first. I guess it's photography first, isn't it? Did you start with photography?
I dabbled in photography beforehand. So what? Straight into weddings? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll cut that. We'll start again. Do you want to ask me the question again?
Tell us about your first wedding, like how you got into weddings in any sort of form, photo or video.
So my first wedding was photo. Similar thing to you. I got asked by my friends if I'd come along and shoot their wedding. Because they knew I dabbled in photography anyway. But that was my first wedding. I knew people did it for a job, but at that point I was just taking photos for me and wanting to carry on. And they were my friends and I was really close to them. So I was just like, you know what, let's do it. So their wedding was in Wales. And it was very sunny and warm, actually. Surprisingly. And so I shot their wedding, and their wedding happened across 2 days. So they did the ceremony one day, like a small family at registry office. It was very cute. And the second day they had the party. They had a marquee in a field, and everyone was in fancy dress. So it just looked like a fancy dress party rather than a wedding. But it was some of the photos I got there were very interesting. And then a couple of months later, Sam called me up and was like, I've booked a wedding. I need some help. So then, that's how I got into it. And then we've just carried on doing weddings. And then I've managed to book a couple of my own weddings.
Yeah.
And then, just rolled into
It's
that.
interesting how like everyone gets into it because it seems like everyone, because when you're, like during the meal where you have a chance to sit down on a day, you talk to like the photographers and stuff like that. And they always say like everyone seems to just fall into the industry. There's no one no one's coming out of uni and becoming
going, I want to be a wedding
studying
photographer.
wedding videography and then obviously it's not really it's not a thing, is it? But like everyone just falls into it, don't they? They just find themselves like, oh, okay, let's do this. Like it's quite interesting.
I definitely fell into it, but it was steady on. He's back.
Whoa.
Oi. And again.
Sorry.
I agree. I think people just fall into it. I think there's loads of different aspects of it that I quite like, because before I did wedding photography, I was really into portraits and taking photos of my friends and people and stuff like that.
With clothes on or clothes off?
With clothes on.
Okay.
I haven't taken any photos of anyone without any clothes
Paint me
on
like
yet.
one of your French girls, Stan. Imagine if you just came out of that and just went, so I used to take pictures of my
Boudoir.
friends naked.
Naked. Is there OnlyFans? Check out my work.
Sorry, I just like
I completely lost my train of thought with that.
I just sabotaged.
Yeah. But
Sorry.
as yes.
All you think about is your friends are naked.
Yeah,
now.
completely. I have a lot of good looking friends. Isn't that right, babe?
Because weddings for me weren't like when I started filming them. Obviously, I'm married myself, so I've been married. But like I'd
Congratulations.
done weddings.
Well done.
Thank you. 10 years. Big up.
Back to normal.
Big up, Mrs. Joe. Mr. and Mrs. Joe. She's called Joe as well.
I know, it's very
She actually
confusing.
called Joe as well?
Yeah.
That's confusing.
So
We have
confusing.
the same name.
I'm married as
Like
well.
the post is a nightmare.
You're married? I had no idea.
I'm not sure how long I've been married though.
2017.
Is it actually?
I think so.
Wow.
Okay, so
It was that.
I was
7
there.
years. Yeah. Yeah, because I did. I used to do like a wedding band as well. So I had like, could I play guitar and I was doing that kind of thing. So I used to do weddings like as part of a band in events and things like that as well. So it was like obviously when you get to a band, you're not there all day. You're just there from like the afternoon.
I think we've all done that because you were in a wedding band and I was as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
We're not in the
okay.
same band.
Maybe we should
because we're
start
both
a
drummers.
band.
Maybe we should. We've done our own career.
Do a jam session one day. But yeah, so I was used to the whole like thing of being in a like seeing the days and that kind of thing, and so it was quite interesting. I always find myself now trying to stop being that guy who goes up to the like there's a band at a wedding. Like I'm looking, I don't want to be, because I remember people used to come up to me and be like, "Oh, I play guitar," and like I'm like,
yeah, all right,
I've done
mate.
it a few times. Like I'll admit I've done it a few times. I've gone up to him and be like, "Oh, I like your Fender Stratocaster," and he's like, and I could just see his like eyes just go, "Oh." For
Was this in the bathroom as well?
No. This is like so before the first dance, I'm like ready, like on the dance floor. I'm leaning behind me. I'm like, oh, that's a nice guitar you have there. I play guitar too, don't you know?
That's a nice Fender Stratocaster you've got there.
Yeah, but that's how it. I didn't say it exactly like that, but that's how it comes across. He might as well have heard it like that because I've had the same, and I'm so that's my big challenge for me on a day is to not be an absolute boiler on the band. I used to do a bit of that myself, you know. Bless him.
Oh, Christ.
In the toilet. That's got me. So who's next?
You?
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you get into weddings?
I don't really know, to be honest.
What
I
made
know.
you think there's a wedding, I'm going to get a camera and go to it? Why did you do that?
I think I was drunk. No, I'm joking. No, so my mates Chloe and Luke got married
Okay.
and I filmed it. And it was on a D800 Nikon.
Oh, so you had a proper camera?
Yeah, but I...
Just
'cause-
about. It was a Nikon.
It was a Nikon, so it was a potato.
So you
But-
filmed it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was so... Because I knew I wanted to do weddings because my brother, without sounding like, he's a mechanic for Ferrari. So I used to tag along. So I used to tag along.
Ferrari
Bear in mind, it's my younger brother. So I used to tag along with my camera. Hi, can I film some stuff on my camera whilst he works? And then through that, they actually gave me some work. So I did some stuff for Ferrari and then it grew from there. And then I got nifty with a camera. So then I thought, my mates are getting married. I might take my camera. But I was so nervous that I brought a mate with me who's actually a professional videographer, Felix. And if you watch the film back, which is like a 20-minute film, 5 seconds of it is mine. Because it was so
Just
bad.
the one shot.
Just the one shot.
Yeah.
But no, it was... and then I just got hooked immediately. It's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling as soon as you send the couple that film. It was lush. So yeah, I'm obviously boring Joe. He's just started to...
No, I'm just getting out so a couple of
Looking at Stratocasters.
just googling cameras. I'm trying to find the film that you want about.
Do you know we've done an hour? This is an hour episode. Do you reckon anyone's listened this far?
It's not live.
Ah, no, but I don't...
Just a little.
No. Oh God, we need to do go home and think about episode 2 now.
Yeah, okay. Should we wrap it up there?
I think so.
What did we speak about?
I can't
I
remember.
can't remember. I'll find out when I edit this.
A little bit
later.
of Miami.
Miami.
Yeah. A big shout out to everybody in Miami.
Yeah.
They looked after us like family as well.
They really
Which
did.
was-
I've been invited
We were-
back. I haven't told you
So
that.
have
yet.
I.
No.
Yeah.
From who?
So next episode we've got a few questions, haven't we, from
do.
Instagram. We're going to nail those.
Yeah.
A bit of a Q&A session, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sam, do you want to say where people can follow us and subscribe and all that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Do you want me to say the platforms?
Yeah, you're really good at that.
Okay, I'll just do it. So we're available on, where's my camera? There it is. We're available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and that's it for now. And
Apple
then,
Podcasts.
yeah, Apple.
That's a thing.
Yes, it's always a thing.
Did you know that?
Yeah,
No,
so
I
please
didn't
come and give us a follow there. And we're also going to be putting out content on Instagram. So come follow us at Timeless Weddings on Instagram if you haven't already. And this is probably where you're viewing this, really.
Yeah, probably.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so see you later, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Peace. Boom. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Episode 1.
Changing clothes now.
Complete.
Yeah.
This is like the bloopers.
Type changed.